You've been told to work harder, to grind longer, to outlast everyone around you. But here's the secret nobody ever said out loud. Hard work alone was never the rule that created wealth. It's the rule you were trained to believe because it keeps most people in motion without ever letting them move forward. The truth is, money doesn't chase effort. It responds to energy, to vision, to alignment. Look around you. There are people working themselves to exhaustion and still living paycheck to paycheck. And then there are people who seem to move effortlessly, yet everything they touch multiplies. You might call it luck, but luck is just another word for alignment. See, the wealthy aren't chasing money. They're chasing understanding, the awareness of how money actually moves. They think in patterns, they see in systems, they build in silence, and most importantly, they never confuse activity for progress. For a long time, I believed the lie too, that if I just worked hard enough, something would finally click. But here's what changed everything. When I stopped asking, how can I earn more? And started asking, how can I think differently? My life started to shift. You see, the rule no one tells you is this. Money flows to clarity, not chaos. And most people live in mental noise, fear, doubt, hesitation, all competing for their attention. They start a goal, then question it. They take action, then doubt it. They want success, but they speak limitation. Every contradiction kills momentum. Wealth doesn't respond to confusion. It responds to conviction. That's why the rich don't chase. They decide. They move with certainty before the world confirms their worth. They invest before the result appears. They speak before the evidence exists. Because they understand the law most people ignore. Belief comes first. Reality follows. Tonight, as you listen, I want you to let go of everything you've been told about money. Forget the 10 steps, the hacks, the overnight success. None of that matters without the mindset that sustains it. So as this plays, don't just hear the words, feel them. Let them shift the way your mind connects to wealth. Let them rewrite the limits you didn't know were there. Because after this moment, you won't see wealth the same way again. You'll start to notice how energy moves, who's expanding, who's shrinking, and where you've been playing small. And when you finally realize that wealth was never about working harder, but about becoming someone worthy of more, that's when everything changes. There was a time I thought I was doing everything right. I woke up early, worked late, checked off every goal on the list, but somehow, the harder I pushed, the further everything seemed to slip away. It felt like chasing shadows. Every success was followed by something missing, a quiet emptiness that no amount of effort could fill. Then one night I met a man, not rich in the flashy sense, but calm, composed, centered. He ran a small business, yet he seemed untouchable by stress. I asked him how he managed to stay so still when the world around him moved like chaos. He smiled and said, "Because I stopped chasing results and started managing energy." He told me something I'll never forget. Money doesn't follow movement. It follows meaning. I didn't understand it at first, but he continued. You can run in circles your whole life and end up nowhere. Or you can walk with purpose for a year and arrive exactly where you're meant to be. That night, I went home and stared at everything I'd built. The emails, the numbers, the grind. And for the first time, I realized how loud my life had become. I wasn't creating, I was reacting. Every decision came from fear of missing out. Every plan was rooted in, what if it fails? And that's when the truth hit me like a quiet storm. I was moving fast, but not forward. The man's words echoed in my mind. When you stop chasing outcomes, the outcomes start chasing you. So I started small. I cleared 1 hour a day just to think. No phone, no noise, just silence. At first it felt strange, like I was wasting time, but slowly I began to notice something. Ideas started coming effortlessly. Decisions became easier. Opportunities that used to feel random began showing up naturally. Because when your energy changes, your environment rearranges to match it. And maybe that's what wealth really is, not the numbers in your account, but the space you create for meaning to flow through you. The wealthy understand this rhythm. They don't rush to fill every second. They protect their silence because that's where clarity lives. Most people don't fail because they don't have talent. They fail because they don't have stillness. You can't receive instructions for your next move if your mind is screaming over the signal. That night, I decided something. I stopped asking, what do I need to do? And started asking, what do I need to become? That question changed everything. Because wealth isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you're becoming. When your inner world expands, your outer world has no choice but to follow. So tonight, if you feel behind, if you feel tired from trying to force your breakthrough, stop. Take one deep breath, then whisper this truth quietly. I am no longer chasing. I'm aligning, and when you do, you'll feel it. That quiet shift inside. The moment your future starts moving toward you. There comes a moment in every dreamer's life when the weight of waiting feels heavier than the hope that started it. You've done everything right. You've planned, you've worked, you've sacrificed sleep, comfort, and time. Yet somehow, it feels like you're standing still. I remember the night that feeling hit me hardest. It was 2:47 a.m. The city outside was asleep, but my mind was running faster than ever. Bills on the desk, emails unanswered, dreams fading like smoke, and I looked at my reflection in the window. A tired face staring back, searching for proof that all this effort meant something. That's when I whispered out loud, God, what am I missing? No answer came, just silence. The kind of silence that either breaks you or rebuilds you. And in that silence, a thought surfaced so quietly, it almost felt like a whisper in my soul. You're still thinking small. At first, I resisted it. I thought, how can I be thinking small when I've given everything? But then I realized I was playing not to lose instead of playing to win. I was building from fear, not from vision. The man I wanted to become, the millionaire, the leader, the creator, he couldn't grow in the same space where fear was planted. So I made a decision that night. Not a loud one, not a dramatic one, just a simple, quiet promise. I will stop surviving and start expanding. And everything changed from that point. The next morning, I woke up differently. I didn't chase tasks. I chased alignment. I didn't rush to impress. I moved with intention. Every no stopped feeling like rejection and started feeling like redirection. And slowly, almost invisibly, things began to shift. People I'd lost contact with reached out. Opportunities I wasn't ready for months ago came back around. Doors that once felt locked started opening again. Because here's the truth, your breakthrough doesn't start when things look different. It starts when you decide differently. The universe, God, whatever name you give it, it responds to who you are being, not what you're begging for. You can't attract abundance from desperation. You attract it from decision. And the moment you decide that your future is not optional, that it's a must, that's when the world around you begins to rearrange itself. You'll start to notice it. The timing, the people, the coincidences that don't feel like coincidences anymore. That's the moment when the dream stops being an idea and starts becoming a pattern. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's energy meeting readiness. So if you're watching this right now and you feel like your moment hasn't come yet, don't walk away. You're closer than you think. The pressure you feel right now is not punishment. It's preparation. And when you finally understand that, the weight will no longer break you. It will build you. Because every great story has a turning point, and this is yours. After the turning point comes the rise. It doesn't happen all at once. There's no sudden burst of fireworks or applause. It starts quietly, like a heartbeat finding its rhythm again. You begin to move differently. You think differently. And before long, you start to realize you're not the same person who almost gave up. Every morning, you wake up now, you feel it. A spark that wasn't there before. The weight is still there, yes, but now it feels like purpose, not pressure. You've stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And you've started saying, what is this shaping in me? That's the moment real power begins. Because power is not about being loud, it's about being certain. You're no longer chasing validation. You're walking with vision. You no longer wait for motivation. You move with discipline. And every small win, every quiet victory, every act of consistency, it compounds like a snowball rolling down a mountain. Small at first, but unstoppable once it gains momentum. This is how success actually works. Not through luck, not through shortcuts, but through steady, unshakable alignment. You stop checking the scoreboard and start mastering the practice. You stop needing people to believe in you and start believing so deeply in yourself that the world has no choice but to catch up. Every doubt you once had becomes fuel. Every failure becomes foundation, and every delay becomes direction. You realize that the same pain that once broke you is now the reason you're unbreakable. That's when the world begins to notice. Not because you shouted louder, but because your energy shifted. There's something magnetic about someone who's found their rhythm. You don't have to chase opportunities anymore. They start finding you. You walk into rooms differently now, head up, heart open. No more pretending, no more proving, just presence. You're not the version of yourself that begged for permission anymore. You are the version that creates the opportunity. And here's the truth most people never hear. You don't need more potential. You need more permission. Permission to step fully into the person you already are. Because the rise isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering who you've always been. You were born to build, born to create, born to impact, born to multiply every seed of greatness inside you. That's why the pressure never left. It wasn't there to stop you. It was there to reveal you. And when you finally stop running from it and start running with it, your power becomes unstoppable. So take this moment, right here, right now, to decide again. Decide that nothing in your past has the right to define your future. Decide that every step you take from here is forward, even if it's small. Because the rise is not a destination, it's a decision. And when you make that decision, truly make it, the universe starts rising to meet you. The world doesn't change when you make noise, it changes when you make moves, and your move starts now. Keep rising. The story isn't over yet. There comes a moment, after all the struggle, the waiting, the silence, when things finally start to move. At first it's subtle, a call you didn't expect, an idea that finally clicks, a door that opens, one you thought was locked for good. That's the breakthrough. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Breakthroughs rarely look like fireworks. They look like faithfulness finally paying off. They look like you showing up one more day, even when nobody's watching. They sound like silence, right before the universe whispers, now. You see, every season of delay, Every door that closed, every prayer that felt unanswered, was aligning the pieces behind the scenes. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You weren't waiting for your moment. Your moment was waiting for you to become the version of yourself who could carry it. That version is standing right here. You didn't come this far by chance. You were being sharpened, shaped, refined. Every setback was sandpaper, smoothing out the doubt, polishing your potential. You didn't lose time. You were being timed. And now, the clock hits 0. This is the moment everything starts to connect. The ideas, the effort, the faith, all the things that didn't make sense suddenly do. This is where you understand that success isn't a reward, it's a reflection of who you became while waiting. And as you step into your breakthrough, remember this: it's not just about what you gain, it's about who you carry with you, the lessons, the scars, the strength. Because when you finally rise, you don't rise as the same person who fell. You rise wiser, quieter, stronger. You no longer chase validation. You command respect. You no longer wait for opportunity. You create it. And you no longer fear losing everything because you now know you can rebuild anything. That's what breakthrough does. It doesn't just give you more, it reveals more of you. So when the world finally notices you, when doors start opening and your name begins to echo in rooms you've never entered, don't forget, this is what you built in the dark. You earned this energy. You forged this power. You became this person. And from this point forward, you're not just surviving anymore. You're leading. You're inspiring. You're becoming the story others will tell when they need proof that faith and perseverance still work. So if you're watching this and you feel that shift, that quiet certainty, don't question it. This is your moment aligning, your signal to rise, your confirmation that everything you carried wasn't for nothing. You made it through the storm. Now, it's time to walk in the sunlight. The breakthrough, when everything aligns.